Lobster monkey goose.
Hello and welcome. Yes, Monster Party is right, Magic, and this episode is going to be a Monster Party Pap. As you may or may not know, if you've been around here recently, we are plagued by the Pap Monster, who requires us to tell a memory from the past, because the Pap is a past authoring program reference, a past authoring program reference, and this is the Candy Cane Speculum monster, and he's been plaguing us, just popping the Pap up over here sometimes, and the only way to defeat him is with a Monster Party, and so we have now the Monster Party Pap. Well, I put it on and went in the kitchen and forgot I was waiting. Well, I'm sorry that I was 15 minutes late. I apologize for that, everyone. And since we don't know if we are going to be able to get the participants required for tonight's show, which is like a whole 4, right? Hey, Ups, that will be here. I thought I'd start by showing, taking a pap smear stroll into the past. To sate the Pap monster for now. With this. What? Show it. There it is. What? Dude, I don't know. It was past time, so I just pressed the button. You're doing an experiment where you try and get the chat to play D&D, but that means you've got to manage at least 4 people watching that also want to type in the chat. So, you're going to desperately be clambering for people to try and make a go, and playing a lot of clips awkwardly. Oh, okay. Well, that we can do. That. Now, as you may be aware, we've started doing the Reaper Harvest on Friday, where I play a bunch of clips. The Virtually Not Alone Monster Party was originally designed to be a shell around which the clips were played, and this experiment number 5, which you can find in the live streams, was, I believe, the first ever attempt. And we'll just use the saving throws from that show for the saving throws for you here tonight. Hey, cause that's what the Pap monster would want. Live stream attempt experiment. The mic's over here. Experiment number 5. Let's do the official savings throws of the stream, shall we? You know how that works, everybody. And buddy, you pick survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Alright, I felt too guilty about it. We gotta give you real fresh savings throws. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose! Survivalist, the number of transformation is it's an 11. That's an 11. Socialist, we have a 6 for you tonight. Lovers of wisdom, just the 8 of us. Heart folks with the disciples, 12, to learn how to show the number. When you hold it this far away with this thing. 12? And our indigo folks are sensate as well. Sensate as well. Let's see who the first brave participants were way back in the day on this pap smear before we get to tonight's battle. Tonight's battle with the Monster Party Pap. Yeah, we're gonna try and pull it off tonight. They gave us a special new layouts feature in the thing, and like if you guys join, then you'll all show up over here on the right. It's gonna be fabulous. It's gonna be fabulous. But for now, back to the back to the back to the previous incarnation and the first ever experiment. Let's see, about 10 minutes in, where were we? Did you timestamp this? No. Jackass. So you take 5 damage, and these two don't take any damage. So I had to close the tray to take, and then he would be at 5, okay? And now if he's about to die, that's good, because the special move of the green one is the heals. So, I mean, that's what do you guys think? Is that doable? Is that too much for a YouTube chat stream? Or can we make that happen? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat while I stream this to you, and otherwise run away.
Billions of people across the internet, and on a variety of topics, both political and apolitical. They've become the de facto public discussion place. People, particularly in younger generations, do not tend to read newspapers anymore, and online articles from mainstream news sites to independent blogs tend to be picked up by people who share them on social media. But the past couple of years, independent bloggers, independent content producers, just like True Stream Media and all.
That's them. That's True Stream Media. That guy there. I was running his clip. It seems I have a habit of running clips and running away from the stream. Let's see if we can find the part where you had participants, Grim, back in that first experiment. Well, I'm sure at the end, well, there might have even been 2 battles. Oh, wait, here. Monster Party, experiment number 5. The party versus the monster apathy. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, can we, watch. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, how's the visuals? Alright, here I am. Now, the party has won initiative. What we're going to do is let me bring you guys in here somewhere. There you are. Come over here. Hey! Whoa, what am I touching? As you can see, this is in the past. Back in the OBS days, where I had the chat in there instead of bringing it through the fancy way. Oh no, like this with the StreamYards, which you can, I think I put a no, that was last stream, shut up. No. That's what, there you go. You guys just chatted as you chat. Marty, you can cast a regular attack, which is ranged. You're a ranged attacker. You don't have to run. Now, as you can see here, in this very first experiment, we had not yet done the thing where we open the Monster Party portal like this. Hey, what? And summon people through as monkeys, as lobster monkeys, and bind them to the dice. So that didn't happen in this first that we had here. Here. Run up there. So damage. The boost to damage okay, so the modifier, the wisdom modifiers take a lot of wisdom to figure out. Like, since you got 14, it's the third set of 5 on a 20-sided die, so everybody gets +3. That means Lynn's damage goes to 8 instead of 5, and Marty's damage goes to 17 instead of, because of the wisdom modifier. Demir with the 6 is not... sorry, John, you don't do it. I was down to 40 of the hit points. We are welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 2 in the VNA Monster Party, experiment number 5, the fight versus apathy, featuring Lynn the Boy, Marty Stauffer, Eve Gilbert, and Jonathan Demir. Hey, Josh Garrison is in the crowd. We might need you, Josh. Should someone in the party die, the only thing that will save them is clap emojis from the chat. So, and Lynn has just taken 10 points of damage from the massive attack of apathy. But now we are to round 2 of the fight, where everyone has to declare their action, whether they use their attack or their special move. Marty is down to only 1 special move left in the fight, as is Eve. As you can see, the previous incarnation of Monster Party was extremely complicated and involved a bunch of math. This new version we hope to try tonight is not at all, but it does require a higher level of participation than mere chat. We need people willing to come on the stream and play. And we'll get to that after we go through some more of what it used to look like, I guess. So Lynn, are you going to what you might taunt, but if you don't get Demir is the one with the special ability to heal. Eve, you have the ability to buff the attack of your friends or weaken. You're just going to do a regular attack. Eve, that one guy said that this was cringe. Can you believe that? I mean, running in to do some damage. How dare you! Lynn is going to make sure that the monster doesn't attack anybody but her. Ranged attack from Marty. One of the more, like, it was a noble idea that the person with the survival, representing the survival die, would get extra hit points and be able to taunt the monsters as their special ability so that they would be the damage sponge. They would survive the blow and take it, so the other person did not. That's the taunt feature in games, but over time, it made the survival lobster monkey probably one of the worst die bindings until it was later remedied that it also did additional damage when you would use your special ability. Does the "I got you, Lynn" mean you're gonna heal Demir? I know, I'm just giving you grief, Eve. Just giving you grief, Eve. Meanwhile, wait, what? Yeah, okay, so what we'll find out soon whether or not Demir is going to attack the monster with his ranged attack or heal. Eve encourages a heal at this point, but he's only got 2 for the whole fight. Yes, he's going to yes, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your seats. Hold on to your seats. No, this one. Hey. This one, go.
So far, we have seen that people can be suggestible when they are under emotional stress.
Oh, the clips in this one, though. The clips in this one were probably the best.
And take indirect suggestions, which may have a long-lasting effect. And we have seen people become suggestible when in trance, and take direct suggestions, which change them for a short period of time. Now we will look at techniques.
Only if they don't make my savings throws, am I right? Okay. Back to the fight. Jonathan comes out with a heel for Lynn. And let's see what the dice say about what happens. Lynn's special move only has an... It's such a travesty that we have to use that purple nebula die for the heart. But, you know, they didn't have a good green one. Effect of 2. But that he wants to kill her anyway, so we're in good shape. Marty with an 18 on a regular attack. Eve with a 9, you attacked as well. That's not, 9 is below 10, and you haven't been buffed. However, look at this heal with a nat 20. That's basically, it's double since it's a 20. And the way healing is going to work is you heal whatever the die says you heal. So that's 40 hit points healed. Lynn is feeling more than fine. Unfortunately, the max is 50, so it only does that. Who is this? Because he dies. Wait. Oh, that was good. That was good. Roll the dice. Oh, over 10 against Lane. Over 10 against Marty. Over 10 against Eve. And over 10 against Dumir. Apathy strikes hard against the party. No. I'll get those back. Okay, I think they finally beat him, right? And then I shut it down immediately after. Wait, here. You're defeated. Defeated. Dum, dum, dum. Hey, thank you for the DNA Monster Party, our special victors. Glenn, the survival warrior. Marty, the social wizard. Eve, the wisdom modifier. And Jonathan Dumir, heart of the party. Everybody who participated in this apathy fight gets an Indigo 7 bonus to next stream savings throw. And now you get them like candy just by participating in the Discord. The next experiment on our Pap of the Monster Party, this Monster Party Pap here. Our next stop on the hit parade was easy like a virtually not alone Monster Party. The next playtest.
There we are. There's the image.
Yeah.
So, upset.
What? Why? What? This is
Side
supposed
down.
to be a playtest. Where's the monster fight? Oh, look! I added meters in episode 2. Represents the heart. Your first roll. That's it. That's it. Not a 4. It's not a 4. A 13. Perfect. Okay, so according to the first roll chart. Oh, enemy! What you've missed is what happens is the Pap monster has been plaguing us for some time now, and it's reared its head, and we have to pass author the Monster Party monster fight in order to have a fight with the Monster Party Pap, and the goal is like through the course of the next half an hour or so of going through this stuff, accumulate 4 people willing to come on the stream and fight Pap by doing the new thing, the new exciting thing I haven't revealed yet. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. episode 2 of the Monster Party Monster Fight playtest from February the 10th of 2022? Wow. What? That must have been October. A 13 gives everybody a bonus 15 hit points for this fight. Thank you, Magic, for your first roll. Blue. Remember, Embody, trying things can be embarrassing, but you just power through it and hope everybody's having a good time. Let's reiterate that wisdom, eh? And things can be embarrassing, but you just power through it and hope everybody's having a good time. Okay, hey, we were playing casino back then even. Man, we need some new songs, guys. Oh. And fatigue. And since this is a special playtest version, let's nerf the heck out of both of these fellows, shall we? Womp womp womp. All right, and as noted on the board over. Oh, it's on this one. Sorry, I got lost there for a second. We got thanks to the first rolls of TFC and Gander, we have special damages at play for the party. Weeks with his extra hit points, and everybody with their extra hit points. What didn't Weeks got more than 5 bonus hit points? See, unfortunately, I have to go back through all of these, and this is not like while I'm live streaming is not the time to do it. But like there needs to be a leaderboard of everyone who's been involved in a Monster Party monster fight and defeated a monster before. Like, did you even remember that Weeks was cast the Social Flames before? Our relations are so much deeper than we remember. Or I remember. Oops. The healer on the first round, right? Yes, perfect. Look at that bow use. All right, so we have an attack from Weeks, special from Gander, attack from Magic, and top feed's ready. Let's see, the goal of the whole thing was to design a game that people would be able to play from the chat comments. And like, had I had these for most of it, it probably would have been more convenient. But to increase the sense of the opportunities, the ability to participate and be part of what's going on the screen is part of tearing down the fourth wall and the whole experience. And game shows why aren't they? I think I'm perhaps willfully blind to why they're not more popular. I did say I'd do. Yes, this one here. Run this clip while we wait. While they just do it.
There's many things we should do. We should stop actually attacking and destroying all that's best, actually, out of our own civilization. There are many things that we need to do rather urgently. But that's not really what I'm saying. I'm saying we need to think about the business of thinking and what we mean by meaning, and that these need to be reconceived. And the way that I like to reconceive them is by unfurling over a long stretch, as we both acknowledge, and I apologize for the length of what I write, but...
How dare you apologize for that? How dare you apologize for the length of what you write, sir? How dare you? And I mean, what is it? What is even this? What even is this? What even is this? I wanna find this the victory they had. They might yes. Oh look. We added the social flame special effects. He apparently muted himself for this part. This guy, can you believe trying to be a game show host and muting yourself for this social flame? Look at that. Look at the excitement of the social flame and no sound whatsoever from this dumbass. You can't even hear him. You can't even hear the guy. What are you even saying, bro? This is the hard die. Is a need to 5 day. It's now time for you to get ready to choose your next move for this round. Will you attack or use your superpower? Oh. And will you attack or use your special move this round? We are winning. Everybody's winning, Top Feet. Everybody's winning. Meanwhile, while everyone decides whether to use their
actually just published this year, March this year. And so
oh
how
God,
brains come to being.
Not this guy.
Divisioning.
Not this guy again, Grim. Come on. Let's get to the victory over the monster. Where the hell was that? Oh look, there's another social flame. Are you muted for this one too? Again. I keep failing my saving throws. Okay, so we got a fireball coming in. Magic healing. Top Feed with the wisdom modifier. And Weeks using a taunt so that Top Feed doesn't get smited again by fatigue. And now the rolls to resolve the special moves. Hiya! Mix it up. Come on. There you go. All right. Well, first, because it's Top Feed. Wisdom. The wisdom modifier in effect for everybody this round. It goes to +1. Everybody's effect gets a +1 this round thanks to the superpower of Top Feed Coco. Is this great? Is the muting part the great part, Marty? Is that what everybody enjoys? Okay, so everybody gets a +1 damage. Hold your finger up. Don't forget. Hold your... Weeks with the taunt. 16 is 80 hit points worth of villains. That's the entirety of the villains will be affected by the taunt. No, not this. Fatigue and apathy. Both must attack Weeks if they attack anybody. Thanks to his special taunt ability. See, it was important to me to differentiate that, survival needed to have a superpower. And it could, like, the most simple way to do this sort of D&D with people that don't know how to play is like, okay, this is your attack, this is your damage. But no, I had to have superpower, virtually not alone bubbles with modifiers, social flame fireballs, special binding when you, like, joined up to be the member to determine. So, like, one game social might be super strong, and the next game wisdom might be strong, and social might be... And, like, the monsters had to fight back because heart had to be for healing. And magic with a 19 on the heels. 19 on the heart meter is 20 hit points healed for everybody. Everybody. Why not? That's the only way it works when you don't have it. 20 hit points for everybody. Even though he started at 35. 21 points for everybody because the top feeds bonus. Now, because people who create things are delusional sometimes, I still think this would work. I think that you might need, it might actually be a need for somebody else to be working, like not the host, to be working the owl bear. But I still think it's very doable, as we left it. Maybe not as it was in the second playtest, but wow! And now the 10 damage on the social power fireball. A 10 on the die is the second or 10 hit points done to both. Oh my goodness, fatigue has been taken out by the fireball. And apathy is now down to 25 of the hit points. Poor fatigue. He just didn't have it in him. Oh, and then the fireball's done. Dice go away. Oh, apathy is mad now and must attack weaks with a regular attack, not the special. Now, the amazing thing is perhaps not that this happened twice, but more so that it happened again. And the next one in our hit parade, in our special walk through the Monster Party Pap smear attack, is the bastard Godmask Tadpole Sloth Friday. Was Sloth Friday.
I was thinking about like everything on. Have you heard of Indra's Web?
No.
It's essentially like one of the Eastern takes of what the universe is, and it's like it's kind of how I see things sometimes. Is we can't see ourselves. We are a light source. Like the light bulb can't ever see itself. It can only see like what it has put out that bounces back to it.
Yep.
And like we're all like that.
Yep.
And so like the Indra's Web thing is sort of like we're that like the web of us all connected in that circumstance. And that was juxtaposing with what Paul said about narcissism and the deep well. And like looking out is all I see is reflections of myself. And looking deep and down, I think I see something down there. And that's, I guess, where I'm supposed to find where the secret sacred self is. And our society is catering to the like that narrowing will help you do that. And that's the theosis we want our society to help with. Whereas the Christian theosis is like instead of like when you look inward, that's where you see Jesus because you've invited him in there. And so that's the that becomes the sacred frame.
Horribly prevented last round from using his power on. This round, Sloth uses his second special attack. And now with no bubble protection, any roll under a 10 results in a Dream Eater being summoned and the party member falling to sleep. Let's see who's affected by his power yawn. Remember, everybody, his power yawn. Best for you. Beware the power yawn of Sloth. This time I was trying to make taunt more useful, and to make taunt more useful, you need more targets to taunt. Like the taunt has to affect more targets. And so Sloth, the monster, when he used his special attack, if you didn't make your savings throw, would summon Dream Eaters, which could be taunted, but could also, his taunt would put you to sleep and summon a Dream Eater. So if you weren't rescued, a Dream Eater would slowly go toward your sleeping, useless self, and it did extra damage if you were asleep when it got there. Power Yawn! Marty with a 9. Eve with a 1. That was a 5, but I'll give you the 12 now. Only Gander and Magic are not affected, which summons 2 Dream Eaters. Blah. And puts poor Eve and Marty to sleep this round. That's serious trouble for the party there, folks. Serious trouble for the party. Oh, I gotta get all the dice back out. All right, with Marty and Eve both incapacitated thanks to Sloth's power attack, only Gander and Magic remain. Gander, your heals would wake them, but if they're hurt later, the heal may come in more handy. We'll need to know if you would like to attack or use your special move. Gander, your magic arrow is all you have left. Would you like to use it as one of the Eaters or one of the Sloths? Or the Sloth? Let me know who you want to attack, Gander. I haven't thought about this multiple opponent thing before, but we'll give you a chance. You can pick off one of the Eaters with your 5 damage or damage Sloth himself. Magic, whether you heal or attack, and if you attack, whether you attack the Eater or Sloth. I'm sorry for the great increase in complexity. Here's this. Eve successfully makes the saving throw and does not take damage. Marty, here's the big Sloth attack versus Marty. Oh, can we even look? Oh, a 19 and a 16. Resurrection required by the Hive Mind. Yes, no. So close to a 20, it's just not. No. Gander's attack. Oh, also that's Eve's attack, not Gander's attack. I'm starting this whole round over. I'm still starting this whole round over. We got Marty. Go. We got Eve. Go. We got Magic. Go. And then we got Gander. And now we got everybody attack. Okay, Marty, that's a no. And Gander's was an 8. However, we have Eve and Magic both hitting for 5 points of damage. Eve's bringing it down to 4. Magic's bringing it down to nothing, defeating Sloth forever, at which time the Dream Eater dissipates. Ladies and gentlemen, the party has done it. Marty on the verge with only 8 hit points remaining. But the success, no resurrection required by the Hive Mind. We've come together and just let's we'll walk through the rest real fast. There was Sloth Friday and Pride Friday, Gluttony Friday. Let's see how Gluttony. Well, yes. Let's stop in and see how Gluttony went. Yeah. Hey. Oh, and now we have the Social Flame special from Lynn Lavoie, which is a big fancy fireball. Ah! No. Not such a big fireball now, is it? Gluttony, you see, I don't know if anyone's aware, right? But Gluttony. Oh, I got the Sloth card. Hold on. I want to load this up. Over time, as the game evolved, these monster cards developed. And here's the one for Gluttony. As you can see, Gluttony takes an earth-shaking step, doing 5 damage for every 10 feet of size. But his power move was to grow 1 foot in size for every 5 points of damage to him. So as you can see here, toward the end of the fight, Gluttony had gotten very, very huge. And every step he took would do terrible amounts of damage to the party. Tony. Let's see how much bonus damage she gets with this power move roll. A 10 plus the +2 modifier. That bubble thing is +2 puts up to 20 points more than the 40 initially. That's another 60 points of damage to Gluttony. 60, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Oh, I can't make it any small. And now Gluttony takes a step forward. Gluttony takes a step forward. Roll your savings throws, everybody. Oh, Lynn doesn't make her savings throw, and neither does Eve. Wait, no, with the +2 of the wisdom modifier bonus, Eve does make her savings throw. But Lynn does not, and takes the full, what was it? What's he at now? Oh, what? Where did it even go? What's he at now? It was down to 8. 40 points of damage to Lynn. Hey, she's out of social fire. Toots is gonna help us get the Rascal shirt thing sorted. And I'm glad you're here in spirit. The view counts help. We're going over the monster party, Pap. Back from the day. Oh, I gotta change branding. Back from the day. We're doing a pap smear of the monster party, Paps, before we hopefully face off with the pap smear monster, which may or may not happen. It's a big ask. It's a big ask. But let's cut to the when do they finally kill him? Right about here. Whoops! No, and the swing is enough to finish off. To finish off Gluttony. No. No, damn it. Come. No. I love that's great. It's great how it showed him. You show him flashing. You show him flashing like that. That's. Oh dear. What? And what did you do here? Oh, how are you gonna? Oh, it was so long ago, and then. Oh, shepherd flocks. These titles, guys. How do you put up with it? How do you? Oh, the Turkey Massacre of 2022. How was that? How did that go?
Out, but I think that because I see people rushing towards AI, almost like lemmings going off a cliff. I feel like it is important to sound the alarm once in a while and say, we need to orient our desire before we go towards this extreme power. So.
Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, you better orient your desires. You better orient your desires because here comes Taters. He's not over there. I gotta make him bigger. Hold on. Taters. Taters. Hey, buddy, come here. You can go in with the monsters over here.
This is me covering for him while he does the background stuff.
Yes, they
'Cause
deserve
I'm the
a dragon, but
co-host
this is
in
a
the
special
future.
event, so these are special monsters. They don't need it. All right, Taters, how big are
It's
you?
taking a long time, though.
Oh, let's find out. Let's find out. Let's find out, shall we? By drain?
Did you know that the Howdy Rascal two-tone three-quarter sleeve shirts printed in the USA free delivery across the USA? Money support my works and feed the cats. And a cut goes to Mud Hut after I straighten out that.
But first, we'll give him on the strike this meter here. Let's see how much damage his attack does. His regular physical attack of sentient mashed potatoes will do.
Oh, yes, because apparently when this game started, I didn't realize that the players would be fighting sentient mashed potatoes, and so I had to determine how much damage he did on the fly.
Oh, look at that, guys. Taters is only going to do 10 hit points of damage with his regular attack, so now he's going to definitely need a good special move. How many hit points does he have? Well, let's check with the heart die, shall we? 5. Yeah, he's not getting many. Oh, wait, what? You're squishy. You should run back here. Everybody else is getting an additional 20 points. That brings our social wizard, Rascal.
I don't know what happened in the interim, but they're now fighting four mashed potatoes. Sentient mashed potatoes.
Up to 60 out of 60. Our wisdom modifier magic, 60 out of 60. And our ridiculously overpowered tank, 120 out of 120.
Slack corrects me. I always had the rules and stats prepared for the mashed potatoes. They were always meant to be determined on the fly, on the dice roll, to help people understand how the dice rolls map to the stats.
Right? That was a 20? Yeah, okay. And then I'm hearing strange cat noises outside. I feel obligated to go deal with, ladies and gentlemen. So, here is a cow.
Ah, yes, the good old cat noise interruption. A random but adored feature of a Grim Grizz live stream.
Propaganda, persuasion, and communication, how human beings make decisions, how human beings are influenced by each other to have technological progress in rhetoric. That's what has happened. New psychotechnologies, too many people think they understand human connection.
One of the many benefits of switching to StreamYards has been that I now can do the full screen button. Oh, what? Oh, here. And play things. Ah. To cover bathroom breaks and cat noises. step back, and higher V's got a ranged attack. So all of these can now be resolved. I should have let the taters go first. No, you shouldn't have. The party deserves this. All right, Slicarius, with the potential taunt, with an over 10 roll on the power meter die. No wisdom modifier bonus this round. He gets a 5. A 5 does not do any taunting. However, it does do your normal 10 damage and the additional 10 hit points, 20 hit points for making it over 4. So that, your normal 10 hit points finishes off this particular tater. Bum, 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 bum. And you are down a special move. Try and roll higher next time. Magic. The wisdom.
Try and roll higher.
With a regular attack, it does up to 5 points of damage. What would you look at that? 12 is over 10. That's a hit. 5 points of damage on this tater. And we've got a ranged attack from higher V, which I'm just, let's make sure. Just step, if you step right here, then your sling can and then hit that tater. So let's see if you get an over 10 on the nebula die. Did you know I could have background music on right now? What? All right, turn off the...
Were we already in StreamYards then? We were. This was an early StreamYards one.
You have to turn off the power meter. But that is a 10 or higher. That makes the regular attack finish off the second batch of tater. And now we have a powerful social flame fireball coming in from Rascal. Let's see, where could she land it to get the most?
This is the moment I was waiting for. This is the moment I was waiting for. Never before had the social flame had done so much as when it baked these potatoes.
Right there, right? Let's see how much additional damage it does. As she overcooks these taters. Oh, you guys didn't see me placing the thing because I left the thing up, right? No, you saw that. They're fine. Here is the extra damage. The excessive overcooking of the taters with an additional 10 hit points of damage. Plus the default 40 is 50 points of tater cooking damage for all of these little fellas here.
The good old days. The good old days. We I think the final appearance we had of the Monster Party monster fights up until the present was where is he? I can recognize. Oh, the Gauntlet. We had the Gauntlet. That was Stump's first appearance on the channel, perhaps. Well, I thought it'd be a good idea to run through all the monsters the Monster Party has ever fought. Red Pill refusing to use his special and also refusing to hit Gluttony with 2 successful hits from Magic and Eve. Bringing Gluttony to 18 feet in size. And as we know, according to Gluttony's magic card, he takes an earth-shaking step, 5 damage for every 10 feet with a 12 save. His current size is 18 feet. That's 3 times 5, 15 points of damage. For anybody who doesn't make over 12 on this roll. Oh, only Eve did not make the save. That's 15 points of damage. That brings us to round 2 against the fight of Gluttony, and I'll need from everybody in the audience
Are everybody in the party, whether or not they'll be using their special move or their regular attack for round number 2. So it turns out that this was the final one. This was. That weird myopia fella.
He grows one.
That was one of the first uses of the cards.
I like to look at the camera though. Sylvia's right here. She doesn't like to look at the camera though. Oh, no, you don't. No. You questioned it. I accidentally left you with a special Eve, but you questioned it. No, yes. It appears that whatever DM is involved, it did not turn it off like that. So you do have a special F. Everybody, let me know if you'd like to use your special, or if you're just gonna use a regular attack. Magic will be using her heal. That's a special locked in for Magic. If using the surprise, I still have a special.
This is true, except if you run like the bird footage of birds, they fall for it. Entropy's power move was an entropic whale that does 40 damage to a single target. Oh no, that was the regular attack. The power move was Swirling Decay, where entropic swirling energies do damage for five for each round. You're gonna keep damage over round. Oh dear.
And Dust is good.
It's amazing. It's amazing how I overcomplicated what I had to do to try and keep things interesting.
Going to be taking 40 additional if he doesn't save with this +5. Savings throws, ladies and gentlemen. With the +5, the 19 of Red Pill and the Wisdom modifier make it. However, both Dust and Magic will be taking damage. 20 points of entropic decay to Magic, bringing her down to 25 hit points. 20 points of entropic decay and 40 points of entropic whale, bringing Dust down to 10 hit points as the Wisdom modifier.
As you can see here, the Wisdom modifier bubble was an area of effect ability tied to the Wisdom die enabled to the lobster monkey that had bound with the Wisdom die. And the Wisdom modifier applied to all of the player characters within the bubble to both their saving throws against the monster attack, but also their attacks toward the monster. Because if you would use Wisdom when your attack, it does more damage or something.
The fire expires in this 5th and hopefully goodness final round of the final 5th battle with the, I mean, we've been doing a gauntlet. There's like all sorts of all right. Entropy is mad. He's down to 90 hit points.
Well, don't worry, Janice. We're here live and we'll catch you up. What's happening tonight? Tonight is this Monster Party Pap, where the Pap Smear monster from the past authoring program has prompted me to go through all the past monster parties before launching the Monster Party fight against the Pap himself. Now, whether or not I'll be able to manage getting 4 people to come do the fight against the Pap itself is a matter yet to be seen. But we're going through the 5th and we've gone through the first monster fight, and now we're at the last incarnation, the gauntlet that had happened.
Right, doing the gauntlet. 10 hit points as the wisdom modifier expires. In this 5th and hopefully goodness final round of the final 5th battle with the, I mean, we've been doing the gauntlet. There's like all sorts of all right. Entropy is mad. He's down to 90 hit points. This is quite the fight. Good to see you, Cabal. Glad you made it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I need dust. Well, no, I don't. I don't need you all to tell me that you're going to do your regular attack. Look at you. None of you even have a special attack left. There's no special attacks remaining. Nothing but whittling down back and forth. Oh my, oh my. If only there's been a restorative dragon. What do you think? What do you think, Rascal? I mean, I'm going to say if Rascal...
yes, by this point in the game, things had gotten so complicated that involved the Hive Mind also summoning the psychic space dragons Sally had provided, such as the restorative dragon that would restore the superpowers or restore the special moves of the lobster monkey fighters in the lobster monkey party.
Magic, I'm gonna let Rascal borrow your die, okay? And let's say if it's an over 10, then I'll give everybody on the team a special because Rascal showed up. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, it's a 9. No specials for you. Let's see what happens. All right, the regular attacks from everybody in the party. If it's over 10, he takes damage. Nobody in the party rolled over a 10. I don't know what to say, man. Guys, things throws or take 50 points of damage. Thanks to Entropy's 5th round of existence.
Well, how did this turn out?
No, and neither a saving throw is made. The party is. Entropy wins, guys.
That's technically how gauntlets are supposed to end. What happened? It's like you can see the different. Yes, it's not like I didn't go through each of the episodes and find the proper highlights, but here's the flavor of the development of the game. No, you can still get the +2 because you demonstrate that when I mute myself like a dumbass, you get bonus points for using emojis, but only the +2 because I caught it when I caught it. The basic Monster Party where lobster monkeys are just normal adventurers to the Monster Party 5th edition where they're superheroes with Hive Mind dragons. Yes, quite nicely put. Thank you. What was going on here, though?
You know, when the party defeats the monsters in the gauntlet, like after the second monster, like it's not supposed to happen for the first monster, right? But for the second monster, you're supposed to get awarded like a dragon that grants you the amulet. And I completely didn't have that part ready. And what happens is when you say if things work properly, right? When the party,
man, tell us what if things worked properly. What would have happened?
The party had defeated Slows. It was like, slow, right? Then, like, the yellow dragon were here. And the yellow dragon grants the party the Hive Mind Harrow attack. which does
Oh.
5 points of damage.
I love like if the show had taken off, right, and there was like 20 people that weren't actively characters in the hive, but just in the hive mind enjoying the show and the battle, and the hive mind hero was activated, for every bee emoji like this one that was placed in the chat, the monster would take 5 damage. So like they could come together to use these dragon powers that would harness the participation of the hive mind to defeat the monster.
To the monster for every bee in chat. And then if they defeat the next monster, they get the indigo, which like lets somebody focus their special move. They get an extra die to their thing. And then and this one is the restore one. And when the party activates that dragon, everybody gets their special moves restored. And I completely spaced it because I had the guest in the studio and it threw me off, and then I forgot about it. And it was, but we only want what's best for you. And it was great for me that we all got to come together and have this Monster Fight Gauntlet.
You know, I gotta say that part is true. Even if it was just me and the 4 people that were on the screen playing in the chat, I always did really enjoy those. But as we're going through those and I'm looking for those, I think that wasn't the last one, if my memory does manage to serve. And it's just that the last one ended up over here in this group instead of live streams. No, because it was the one time back when wait, we looked it up here, and we saw this unjust chatting here. Is like back when Jacob first launched his Jacob's Ladder project, right? And I did the one where I could broadcast to me and to him. And I think this may have been the last one. Let me see why it came up. No, was there a monster party fight here? Is the question.
Society we're living in upside down. Then I can say that like the war on the enmity.
Janice, I wish you a lovely and peaceful rest, and thank you for stopping by the live stream. It was great to be, wearing live streaming when an Australian could come play in the Australian afternoon.
With the seed of the woman is a battle men have been losing for at least 100 years. And if you don't know what the enmity with the seed of the woman is, I don't know what Federecci, you're still here, right? When did you translate that verse from Hebrew? It's like number 4 in Genesis. You've got to have that video for that already, right? It's they called it feminism, right? And they pulled your mom.
Right. Oh, come on, dude. Okay, so this was probably the last one. I don't know. Maybe I was just talking about it, though. I don't remember.
Screen's like, what? Oh, no. That's not what I meant. Screen's like this. By our good friend Howdy. Oh, look, I can be here.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was just a monster party, if I was just talking about it. But after this branding and such, I'm going to get into the fun, oh my gosh, what is this? What is this crazy new, switch back to the right branding. What is this crazy new Monster Party Pap, Grim? And can you get enough people to play? Well, we'll soon find out. But first, this. All right then there, Grim. What's up with this new Monster Party Pap? And what's the plan there? Well, you see, formerly we had this system. This system here where people would be summoned in as lobster monkeys and they would bind to the die, and then the lobster monkey portal would go away, and they would face a monster. But Pap is a unique monster because he exists not in normal time space. So the normal attacks of social flame and the physical attacks of the survival die are unable to affect the mighty Pap. However, thanks to our new Streamlabs tools, if we get 4 volunteers in this thing, we will be able to damage Pap under the new protocols. And how that works is that in order to get into the timeline of Pap, we have to share a memory. And so if we get the, well, before I get into the nitty-gritty of how the game works, allow me to explain partially the motives behind my attempt at such a game. There's in this little corner, there's a secretive thing called the Foundation that's sponsoring this channel, the Randos United. And it occurred to me that if I was able to manage a successful game show where people shared their memories, right, that they might buy those episodes for syndication on their new Randos United channel. And so I attempted to tap the Hive Mind for their memories and then sell the episodes into syndication to the secretive Foundation. This I bring to you from, hello, I see the assassins have failed. This I bring to you on behalf of the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency. But the notion is, this is us in the game board, except there's 4 of you who have clicked the StreamYard's link below and have cammed up and would appear underneath the virtually not alone bubble. At which time we would try to engage Pap, and we would need to know whether the attack was a social, wisdom, heart, or survival memory. So one of the members of the panel who had, okay, the way this is going to work is any member of the panel is going to be able to make the attack. But they'll have to first remember something along the vein of a survival story, a story of a heartwarming story, something where they learned a lesson, or something they learned about other human beings. And then when they invoke their memory of that event, it lets us go back into the timeline Pap is in and roll a damage die to him, and then we damage him based on the die. Apparently we're gonna need some modifiers, or he's gonna need a lot less hit points. Yes, so that is the notion. Why is it not lifted? See, if I do it in one of their fancy ones, it lifts me up over the anyway. So that's the plan. If we can get if we can get 4 people. Meanwhile, here's another a bathroom break interlude, or just an interlude, however you want to use it. Hey, Magic, you gonna be here? Rascal! We're doing it. We just went over how in one of the last monster parties, everybody had a chance to get the special ability again just because you showed up. I believe in this too. We're trying a new thing tonight. Maybe if we can get enough people to play along. Look, I can demonstrate the panel. Except she's not here yet. Hovering in. Oh well, I understand that. That's good to. As long as you can hear me, okay, I'll be able to catch your private chats, Magic. What you may have missed so far is that we've gone over the previous monster parties because the PAP is the past authoring problem, past authoring problem, Candy Cane Speculum monster that makes us remember things. And so we've been remembering the monster parties, what were, and what fun they were. And I've recently explained the new concept that has been enabled by the masterful StreamYards, giving me the custom control to make this here game board and show 4 players on the right as we fight the PAP. And the new way of fighting the PAP will be via someone willing to tell a story that they can remember. Because remember, Embody,
there is no agency. We want
what's best. And so by telling a memory, it places them in the timeline in which they can do damage to the PAP monster. And we'll roll a die. I think there'll be a modifier for an emoji, some kind of core. We'll work out. We will overcomplicate things as it goes. For right now, we're seeing whether or not we can muster that sort of thing on a Saturday night here on the YouTube lands. And here, let's revisit. Oh, that was the end. The entropic win. After the gauntlet. Maybe there was a happier moment in the gauntlet. Or just, here, watch this. I need something. I'm surprisingly boomer with the mute button. It's true. It's true. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so now we have a very special circumstance where the wisdom modifier Monkey Eve, even though the wisdom modifier bubble is ridiculously large, has only 20 hit points because was not bound when Magic got to do the binding and everybody got the hit points. So really? With a co-host though, right? It works with a co-host, maybe. So let's see. Oh, I was telling you why. I was gonna tell you why, Grim. Why would you want to? What would motivate you to try to make a show and then sell it to syndication to some startup foundation with a YouTube channel where they do just chattings and stuff all the time? Where's this financial motive coming from? And despite the fact I went through the channel content, I could not find the video I created for my patrons that explained I was closing my Patreon. But I have. The reason roughly was that before I left the Baal Bird Network, I had seen Kale Zeldin, who I am trying to get back to come on the show again to help with the Defense Against the Dark Arts. He had noted that a Catholic YouTube grifter he was interested in was battling Patreon over censorship again. And I did this long video explaining how I should have left and And then here's when Peterson left, from when, you know, Peterson and Rubin said why they were leaving Patron and how it was dirty of me to be there the whole time. And it worked out just because it caught on as a catchphrase. Grimgris has a patron, and now it was time to do the right thing. And so I've killed it now. And it's the 25th of March. And so what would have been here on the 1st will not be here on the 1st. And despite the fact I've created similar structures over here on this fabulous Buy Me a Coffee, there's that. There's that. I mean, there's the $1 Morale division, the Vente division, the same division, Shiluminati. There was one. I had a Shiluminati on Patreon. It's gone now. And it's the 25th, and there's parts of me that are. So that's why we might want to do a game show. So as a benevolent dungeon master I am, for every B emoji I see in the Hive Mind chat, when I finish this song, when at the end of the song, I don't want to run a whole song. Yes, it's a big ass bubble. But so if for every B you guys put in the chat, I will give Eve 5 hit points. 5 hit points, because 20 hit points is like, imagine if Glut Tony was the monster you guys fight next, and he takes like 2 steps. You know, so hi, I'm Grim. I'm an internet grifter, busker grifter. I feel more like a busker than a grifter most days, but I'm LARPing as a shill, and it's all very complicated. Welcome. This is my YouTube channel. I'm not sure why you're here, but I'm glad you're here. Your attention and potential are what we all work to tap in this world where life feeds on life, feeds on life, feeds on life. Lobster monkey goose. All right, there. That's the official full screen version. I need to download it and then upload it as a branding thing, so I can play it like this one. Remember it.
There is no agency. We want
For you. And if you want to hang out in the green room, I do have this link for you. Whoa, where are we? I don't know where we are. There's so many tabs open, man. So many tabs. Lobster monkey goose. No, you can't run stuff like that too close together in a row. Iggy! Oh, thanks, Chad.
Hey there, I'm Chad the Alcoholic, and the creator of the Friday Morning Nameless channel. I'd like to welcome you to join us for the latest and greatest and most up-to-date information about all the things happening in this corner of the internet. I want to thank you for your time and your attention.
Lay the hand on me. Lay the hand on me. Since people apparently have better things to do on a Saturday night than play my little memory vacuum game attempt thing. You just left. How are you giving me an emoji? Goodbye. Goodbye. Late ear. Late ear. It wasn't. But anyway, I spent a lot of this evening making a distillate that may never. Well, just do it this way. Do it this way. This is where. Whoa. This is where I've been making a distillate in the loom room. Now, in case you're new or don't know desktop Discord at all, check this trick out, which I should have used. And they might even should have all been in the same. But here's where Anami put the link to the original video. Here's the first clip I made. If you're in Discord and you put these little brackets around a link, it mercifully doesn't show the whole whatever. But we'll take this link and we'll bring it over here and we'll show people that.
We stand on the precipice of fundamental. We stand on the precipice of fundamental societal transformation, where soon, nobody knows when, but many, including me, believe it's within our lifetime, the collective intelligence of the human species begins to pale in comparison, by many orders of magnitude, to the general superintelligence in the AI systems we build and deploy at scale. This is both exciting and terrifying. We stand.
RLHF is how we take some human feedback. The simplest version of this is show two outputs, ask which one is better than the other, which one the human raters prefer, and then feed that back into the model with reinforcement learning. And that process works remarkably well with, in my opinion, remarkably little data to make the model more useful. So RLHF is how we align the model to what humans want it to do.
So there's a giant language model that's trained on a giant data set to create this kind of background wisdom knowledge that's contained within the internet. And then somehow adding a little bit of human guidance on top of it through this process makes it seem so much more awesome.
Maybe just because it's much easier to use. It's much easier to get what you want. You get it right more often the first time, and ease of use matters a lot, even if the base capability was there before. RLHF is
into one organized black box that is human wisdom. What is that?
Human knowledge, let's say.
Human knowledge. It's a good difference. Is there a difference between knowledge? So there's facts and there's wisdom. And I feel like GPT-4 can be also full of wisdom. What's the leap from facts to wisdom?
You know, a funny thing about the way we're training these models is I suspect too much of the processing power, for lack of a better word, is going into using the model as a database instead of using the model as a reasoning engine.
Yeah.
The thing that's really amazing about this system is that it, for some definition of reasoning, and we could of course quibble about it, and there's plenty for which definitions this wouldn't be accurate, but for some definition, it can do some kind of reasoning. And, you know, maybe the scholars and the experts and the armchair quarterbacks on Twitter would say, no, it can't, you're misusing the word, you're, whatever. But I think most people who have used the system would say, okay.
Into one organized black box.
for the world to get access to this early, to shape the way it's going to be developed, to help us find the good things and the bad things. And every time we put out a new model, and we've just really felt this with GPT-4 this week, the collective intelligence and ability of the outside world helps us discover things we cannot imagine, we could have never done internally. And both like great things that the model can do, new capabilities, and real weaknesses we have to fix. Because we think it is important for the world to get access to this early, to shape the way it's going to be developed, to help us find.
So that's, I don't know, I ended up with 17 of those. Hey, Cassie, what's going on, man? We were doing a monster party, Pap. I got this fancy new idea for a new monster party layout where people fight the Pap monster by they allowed me to make this custom thing, but it doesn't bump my head up like it does in every other branding. It doesn't anyway. But it would require getting 4 people on the stream willing to share their memories, whether those are related to survival, social wisdom, and heart. Slack said it sounds like a good idea. He's just not the sharing type. And I wanted to point out that those representing the social die would totally be allowed to lie. Those who were representing the heart would never be allowed to lie. Survival would be allowed to lie. And then wisdom, I don't know, would be allowed to lie, but only if it was for the right reasons. As far as like the memory you share could be fake, right? How would we even know? How would we even know? And then I went to my distillate I was working on from the Altman conversation. But I fumbled it, and now here we are. Welcome. Welcome. Why do you keep doing this to me? Because why? Because why? I paste it. You start playing autoplay, I pause you real fast. There we go. Perfect. That's how it's supposed to work.
Say, hey, model, please pretend like you, or please only answer this message as if you were Shakespeare doing thing X, or please only respond with JSON no matter what, was one of the examples from our blog post. But you could also say any number of other things to that. And then we tune GPT-4 in a way to really treat the system message with a lot of authority. I'm sure there'll always, not always hopefully, but for a long time, there'll be more jailbreaks, and we'll keep sort of learning about those. But we develop, whatever you want to call it, the model in such a way to learn that it's supposed to really use that system message.
What's interesting now as I'm playing the distillate clips from it is that the way that there's this one part where this guy on the right, Altman, come on, Altman, the name. How can this not be a dream when names play out the way they do? But he's over there on the right, and he basically makes the point like the chat GPT thing already is doing opponent processing, and I'm not even sure I caught that clip right. Here's one I called the poetic LARP arms race.
We tune GPT-4 in a way to really treat the system message with a lot of authority. I'm sure there'll always, not always hopefully, but for a long time, there'll be more jailbreaks, and we'll keep sort of learning about those. But we develop, whatever you want to call it, the model in such a way to learn that it's supposed to really use that system message. We tune GPT. The first versions of these systems were sort of, one shot. You said what you wanted, it wrote some code, and that was it. Now you can have this back and forth dialogue where you can say, no, I meant this, or no, fix this bug, or no, do this. And then of course the next version is the system can debug more on its own and kind of try to like catch mistakes as it's making them. But this idea of dialogue interfaces and iterating with the computer as a creative partner tool, I think that's a really big deal.
Whenever, to my reapers out there, whenever you're watching something you think you might take reaps from, you might reap some clips from, when the human says things like,
what it generates and
oh,
the something that the code does, if you don't like it, you can ask it to adjust it. It's like it's a weirdly different kind of way of debugging, I guess.
For sure. The first versions of these systems were sort of, you know, one shot. You said what you wanted, it wrote some code, and that was it. Now, and then of course the next version making, and
there's an amazing document.
Yeah.
I think
when the human says something like,
that's a really big deal. Partner tool. I think that's a really big deal.
That's like a marker to you that it might be a clip worth bringing to the Hive Mind. Hey, Red Pill, Candor. I hope you have it. I hope you have Candor. We are looking to fight a giant monster here, ladies and gentlemen, that we know is by the name the Pap monster, the Candy Cane Speculum. He's a creature outside of time, with 300 hit points. And in order for us to properly defeat him, we'll need 4 brave warriors willing to recount stories from their past as part of their past authoring in order to bring themselves into the past to do damage to the monster and then roll it. So, like, for example, had Red Pill finally decided to come on the show, he would click on this stream link over here, right? And come on. Like this. And maybe we'll do it one at a time. Maybe we don't have to have 4 at a time, right? Maybe just one brave contestant. And it'll appear underneath the bubble. And I'll say, all right, man, we're going to fight the Pap. We need a memory from you. One that is either based in survival, in a social situation, sometime you felt heart or love or all those good heart feelings, one of those time memories, or a memory where you learned something and gained some wisdom. And once you share that memory, we will roll the associated die and be able to damage Pap with a modifier for however many emojis of whatever type I see in the Hive Mind at the time. Because I think with 300 hit points, we're definitely going to need some emoji multipliers. So, if you're willing, Red Pill, that's the new game we're playing. What is Red Pill? This is Red Pill. Third wave Red Pill. That's... See, like in... Oh. But so that's what is going on. Meanwhile, I'm running clips from the Altman conversation that I worked on this evening that could have been a distillate. Could have been a distillate. Here's the next one in that hit parade, which we called... a
little bit of sleight of hand sometimes when people talk about...
Oh, it's from the 33rd minute. Justin Alias, hello, welcome. I assume that means you're willing to volunteer to be on the thing. Let me run this clip real fast. What have I done?
Aligning an AI to human preferences and values.
But to me, this speaks to how difficult this problem is. Because there's hate in the world.
For sure. You know, I think something the AI community does is there's a little bit of sleight of hand sometimes when people talk about aligning an AI to human preferences and values. There's like a hidden asterisk, which is the values and preferences that I approve of.
Right.
And navigating that tension of who gets to decide what the real limits are and how do we build a technology that is going to have a huge impact, be super powerful, and get the right balance between letting people have the system, the AI that is the AI they want, which will offend a lot of other people, and that's okay, but still draw the lines that we all agree have to be drawn somewhere.
There's
Dum, dum, dum. Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we have our first brave contestant. Let's check. Justin Alias. Hello and welcome. Are you willing to compete against the Monster Pap here today?
Oh, I must have missed that you were speaking to that. I was going to ask you, were you talking to me? Because I didn't hear a lot. I was too busy trying to get in. I have very bad internet, and I might clip out, and I don't mean to lag and talk over you, but I couldn't help but say hi.
Well, I'm glad you came in to say hi.
This is T. Gander.
It's Gander, okay. Well, hey.
Don't forget the T.
It's good to see you.
They don't laugh as much when I'm being candid, but they do anyways.
Well, do you have a memory you're willing to share to feed the Pap monster?
Oh my god. Yeah, weren't there some other things didn't have to be a memory, maybe just a thought? Or weren't there other things to add to that? Didn't I have other options?
Other options. Well,
wasn't it a multiple choice? Let me rewind. Let me go back.
It's the multiple choices. It's supposed to be a survival story, a social story, a heart story.
Oh God, honey, you don't have all day.
But one story will let us do some damage against this giant monster thing over here.
I got about 100 stories, mile long. And I also have 100-mile-long stories. There is a difference in what I said. All right, let me see. Let me think of it. You put me on the spot. I wasn't prepared. Play your game. Tell me what you're doing because it looks cool.
Okay, so the Pap monster, the past authoring monster, is facing us. And since he's in the past, in order for us to do any damage to him, we have to recount the story from the past to take us to the past where we can damage him. And that's where you come in. By telling
good God. Is that where I came in? Because I must have missed something.
It's true. And welcome, Justin.
No, I don't know.
So, a story from the past about survival. A story where you felt heart and love. A story where you learned something, or a story about a social situation. With I don't know, 3 minutes.
What do you mean when you say social? Listen, I'm trying to get out of the one you want me to do. The social situation. What do you mean by that exactly? I can give you one of those.
If you told me about you had lunch with Bob this afternoon, that would count. We just need a story from not now that fits one of the categories. Is social the one you'd like to go with?
That's the one I'll go with. I'll take that option. Thank you kindly. And if you let me know I'm not talking over you, we can begin. If you'd like. If you mean it. Are you sure?
You're doing fabulous. Please give us a brief social situation story. And go.
Today I went shopping. And a friend of mine offered to help drive me. And it was so generous. I was like astounded. And I did everything I could to be organized and very prepared because my physical abilities have been in trouble for the past couple of years. And more so since August last year, I can barely move. Sometimes I feel partially paralyzed from the mid back down. And it's a burden. So yeah, we go out, we get some lunch there. It was real delicious. And then we start going and they do everything wonderful. I mean, they go into each store I ask. I've got a little list for them so they know exactly what I want and how much it costs. And I give them the money. And I tell them always bring a receipt so I can remember we came here. In case I lose anything along the way. You know how it is. He did everything perfect. It was just, oh my God, it was wonderful. We hung out about 4 hours, and then I was grateful to be able to dump him off at that beautiful cabin. He lives on this beautiful freaking lake. And it was just a wonderful day. That happened to the Tee Canter today.
Well, how about that, ladies and gentlemen? We have a social story in our fight against the Pap that allows us to do social damage against the Pap. If you would like to contribute by multiplying the damage we get to do, please put some sort of emoji in the Hive Mind chat at this time.
Who, me?
No, you're fine. We get a die roll for you. I'm just giving everybody else a few moments to to participate in the chat by adding any emoji. Aha, there's one from Upcycle Club, so we have at least the time.
You guys are gonna make me put them big eyes on again. You're gonna make me put them big eyes on. I can't see it.
You don't need to.
Who said what? Who give that emoji?
Oh,
Hello,
we got
kids.
two. There's one from Slicarius.
Listen, tell me how loud I am. Did you tell me how my audio is? Because I'm usually really bad at this.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine. We have a ×3 on your damage. Oh, and one from Rascal. There's ×4. We might.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
This isn't going to lead up where you're going to need some money from me, is it, honey?
Yes. Let's start that now. No.
I can't do a grift tonight. I'm a little flat broke. I actually bought lunch and treated us and paid for everything I shopped for. He bought himself a little bottle of Tylenol. He needed diapers, but he didn't buy them. He just bought the little bottle of Tylenol, this big. But other than that,
I need nothing more of you other than to represent for this role. Your story gets a ×4. Thanks to the emojis in the chat, your damage to the monster from this roll. This roll is from thanks to your story.
Wait, let me make it bigger. Let me, how do I make it bigger? Oh, yes. Hold on a minute. Wait, don't do nothing. Here I come.
All right,
go.
All right, here's the roll. With the ×4 multiplier, that's a 6. So 6 × 4 is 24 points of damage. Bringing the big Pap monster down to 276 hit points. Thanks to yours coming on and sharing your story. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Shane, have you come on to play?
I have. I wanted to come.
That was fun, by the way. Thank you.
I just wanted to come share a revelation about heart, if that's all right.
Well, as long as it's from the past, we need to enter the past to go fight the Pap monster.
All right. Well, I think that in the past, coming to the realization that you can't let intellect dominate, that no matter what, you have to be reaching into heart and find your spirituality that way. I think that's a really critical thing. So it's sort of like putting yourself as like your head is heart. As a first and foremost. I think that's a pretty critical thing.
You've come to this realization.
Absolutely. And it wasn't today, it was in the past, so I think it counts.
But I need the story. I need the story of you coming to that realization. Were you in a park? What's the story? Ready, set, go.
I would say, to me, that's what my experience in this little corner has been overall. Because usually I'm looking at way more intellectual stuff, usually politics, crypto type stuff. I'm a developer. So as I ventured, I kind of found my way into this corner through Peugeot. And that was kind of a reignition of my Christianity. So I think that it would definitely qualify as a kind of a unique story.
I agree. And as it was a story of your past, it does qualify for a damage roll against the Pap monster. After this brief moment, we allow the chat to put the emoji multipliers in the Hive Mind.
Oh, and come through chat. We need a chat.
Come on, chat. Here's we'll give them a minute because there's a delay. All right, and as our battle with the mighty
Come on, big money, no whammy.
Pap monster continues. We have, count them, 1 lightning bolt from Upcycle, 1 tear face from Rascal, a lobster from I Am Magic, and a bus from Seclarius. That's ×4 multiplier to your damage roll. And that was a hard story, so we'll be using the Nebula die. Let's see what we do. Oh, that's a 4. ×4 is 16 points off the top of this beast. It might be a long show, ladies and gentlemen. It might be a long show.
Well, thank you to chat for boosting it, because that was a pretty terrible roll. But let's see who comes on next, and I'll throw some emojis up for everybody else.
Thanks, Shane, for coming to play, and I look forward to our next participant. I guess one at a time is a fair enough way to do this. Meanwhile, while we wait for our next contestant, I need another, and so I'm taking another. Here's another. Does it not play that song thing when I'm sharing with you this tab? Like, if I'm playing this one here, I know you can hear it. But then when I switch to this, you don't hear the song anymore, only I do, right? And anyway, we're here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, at the Monster Party Pap, where in order to face off with the Pap Monster, first we had to do a pap smear of the monster parties themselves before introducing this new concept where we fight the Pap Monster by people coming on the stream through this magical invite link that I'll drop in a second again, and telling us a story from their past that allows us to roll damage against the past authoring monster. It must be fed. Must be fed. Magic is unwilling to cam up and tell a story. I'm sorry. I know the Hive Mind demands it, but the matron does what the matron does, and she says, "No, sir. No, sir." In the meanwhile, I do have one more clip from this guy I could play. No, don't paste over that one. Paste over this one.
But already, I think people are, as they see the rate of progress, already people are grappling with what's at stake here. And I think the better angels are going to win out.
Can you elaborate on that? The better angels of individuals, the individuals
And
within the
companies. But, you know, the incentives of capitalism to create and capture unlimited value, I'm a little afraid of. But again, no, I think no one wants to destroy the world. No one wakes up saying, like, today I want to destroy the world. So we've got the Moloch problem. On the other hand, we've got people who are very aware of that. And I think a lot of healthy conversation about how can we collaborate to minimize some of these very scary downsides.
Hive Mind, I have wonderful news. A turned on camera means we do indeed have magic tonight. Hey, Magic, how's it going?
It's going okay.
You look
I'm having
marvelous.
a good time.
I'm glad you're here. Are you going to help us fight the Pap? Oh, that's not the Pap. Son of a... That's the Pap. Oh, God, he's still got 250 hit points.
Wow. Okay, I'll try.
Are you willing to? Okay. Well, we do need something from your past because he's a past authoring monster.
Okay.
This Candy
I've got
Cane
it already.
Speculum.
I know.
You know now. You do understand it has to be a story.
Yes.
From your past. That's either it can be a lie if it's social, but it's
Yes.
got to be true if it's from the heart. But it can be a social story, a story you learned a wisdom thing, a story you felt heart from, or a story of survival. It's got to be one of those four. Does the story you have fit that? And it's from your past.
Wisdom.
All right. Are you ready to tell it?
Yes.
Here we go. And the one, and the two, and the...
Okay. I went to treatment, and at this treatment center, they had a shelf in the hallway that was filled with meditation books just sitting there. And I stole one. It was called the Promise. I'm in my jammies. I'm sorry. Anyway, I stole it, and I had it for years. I loved it. I read it every day. And then I went to work in a treatment center, and I took it to work with me one day, and somebody stole it. And I was upset for a second, and then I realized I had learned a lesson in karma. And then it was a few years later, I was out of the blue gifted a copy of The Promise. Somebody stole that one too. So yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, fighting the Pap monster, magic and the stolen promise. You know now that I need to see the emojis in the chat so we can do a damage multiplier now that we've been taken into the past with the stolen promise. Meanwhile, to give you time but how do I give them time to put the emoji in? Hey, there's one from Rascal. We're doing good already. Oh, they're fast tonight. Look at that. We're up to ×3 on this damage for the wisdom story. You do know that the wisdom die will be rolled by this blue one here, representing this wisdom here.
Yeah.
And then it will be multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4. Thanks to third wave red pill, we're up to ×4 damage against the Pap monster. We've got to see this fancy tool that I have for the DMs over here. Even lets me do a timer. We can do. You guys got another 45 seconds, and then we will solidify how much the damage roll and the multiplier. And don't forget, there's a delay. So I don't know what to make for the delay, really. Do you feel virtually not alone? No? What? Are you thinking about it?
What?
I said, do you feel virtually not alone?
I think I did for a minute. But I don't now. Thanks for
Hmm.
my attention.
Here.
No, I was watching YouTube chat.
Have a branding. Oh, you want to say it? You want to do a voiceover?
What do you want me to say?
Remember, embody, there is no agency.
Remember, embody.
Oh, wait, what
There
was the
is
thing?
no agency.
Yes, exactly that. But right now.
Remember, embody. There is no agency. We want what's best for you. How's that?
Perfect. And oh, you know what? I'm counting it. We're counting Raquel's heart on the wisdom story 4 times 5 total multiplier on the emoji. And here comes the die roll. Hey. Oh, that's a 7. A 7 times 5 is 35 damage to the Pap monster. It's gonna be a long night. The Pap monster down to 250.
I thought that was worth more than that. Okay, I'm going back to YouTube.
All right, thank you for being you, Magic. Good night. All right, that brings us down to 215 on the Pap monster, and holy smokes! Well, you know, there's only one thing I can do at this time, and that's step in as with the divine intervention and tell the players, and the angel the sky parts before you, and the avatar of some goddess you don't recognize comes down to fight the Pap monster with you, and he tells you this following story. I however will need your discernment. Your discernment that no wait, just tell this. Okay. Once one of the best ways to face the Pap monster is to begin with the spell that captures his attention. Once upon a time, I was a young lad. And as a young lad, I lived next door to my great-grandfather. And my great-grandfather had a rowboat. And the place where we lived next to each other was about 3 blocks from the lake. And the road went straight to the lake. And we would walk this rowboat down past Chestnut. We'd have to wait there because that was the busy street. And then we'd be back in the residentials. We'd go down the hill. We'd put the boat in the water and we'd row it out. Now, being a little lad that I was, rather than a fishing pole with the fancy pants reel or anything, I got handed these little 4, 2, 3 feet long ice fishing poles because in Michigan the lakes freeze and they drill holes in the ice and they put these tiny little fishing poles. And these tiny little fishing poles are perfect for tiny little hands in a rowboat. And to determine where to hang the hook full of worms, I would squirm and place on the hook. We would use a depth finder before. What we would do is we'd put the worms on and then put the depth finder on and then drop it into the lake. And it would go all the way down to the bottom. And then we'd pull it back up and pull off the depth finder and then put it back in the water, and now you're fishing. But every time, because I was a stupid little kid, the depth finder was on there, it would feel like a fish to me. I was like, it was a fish. And it was usually just the depth finder. But one day, that played out the same as ever. We row out onto the lake. It's a beautiful blue day. I think it's the afternoon, probably 5:30 or 6:30. I load up the hook full of worms. I put the depth finder on. I drop it in. And up it comes. I got the fish. And he's like, no. But I bring it up. And on this time, there was a fish. And not only was there a fish, it was a goldfish. A goldfish had bitten on the worms on the hook that were on the depth finder and was hanging there, dripping water in the afternoon sun in the place called Michigan, on the planet of the Earth. There was a goldfish in dripping, and I was with my grandpa. I don't know if this qualifies as one of these fancy pants survival stories because I was fishing, or a social story because I was with my grandpa, or a wisdom story because sometimes there is a goldfish on the end of the hook, or if it's a hard story. But I will take your emoji modifiers for the damage roll for whichever we choose. Hey, there's one emoji already. Thank you, Ups. I think we're gonna need them. That Pap monster is pretty huge. We got 3. Thank you, but only one counts, Rascal. Oh, there's a third emoji here. Here, let me give you some branding so I can take a drink and we can let the emojis just pour in. Just let them all pour in. Yes, it's the snow again. Dun, 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 dun. I should count this finger as extra magic. Alright, so we have emoji validation from Ups, Rascal, Slack, Red Pill, and Magic. That's time 5. And Magic says it's heart for Grandpa and fishing, and I'll take that as canon. Since the heart die has been sitting here on a 20 for who knows how long. It gets to times 5 thanks to the Hive Mind. Oh, 13. 13 times 5. That's like 65 points of damage. That's like, wow, doesn't that bring him down to 1? Check my math, everybody, but that brings him down to 150, does it not? That's excellent. All right, now we just need 1, 4, 6. Anybody willing to tell a story about survival, social, wisdom, or heart, and to finish, help us in our fight against the horrible Pap monster. These are so far away from each other. Now, if you're the type that's willing to come into the past and help us out here, I will once again. Oh, your poor voice, man. As soon as chat loads, I will once again give you the opportunity. A link is a key to the portal, to the room, to the door that is here. And I can bring you up here if your camera's on, and hopefully you will have muted the YouTube by then. And I will bring you in here and you can tell us a story. And that will take us back into time, and then we can do damage to the past authoring monster once again. Here's the link if you want to be that person. And if you don't, man, here's a sweet confessional moment. Yes, we do need specials, or at least the wisdom modifier, right? You guys remember the good old days, like this monster party I'm playing footage from for a while. So, I'm just going to ask, each person, Eve, come on. Now, for anybody who doesn't make over 12 on this roll. Oh, only Eve did not make the save. That's 15 points of damage. Ah. That brings us to round 2 against the fight of Blood Tony, and I'll need from everybody in the audience, or everybody in the party, whether or not they'll be using their special move or their regular attack for round number 2. Lobs the monkey strength. I think that's what the emoji hieroglyphs say there. Magic is lobs the monkey strength. With his massive size of 18 feet, he grows 1 foot in size for every 5 points of damage. How can he be defeated? He'll just keep getting bigger and bigger. Oh. That end lady over there, she's encouraging you. Magic will heal. That's a special move for magic. A regular attack from Red Pill. Oh, but the wisdom modifier is going.
Oh, but the wisdom modifier.
I don't know. It's hard to see yourself sometimes, folks. It's hard to see yourself. Don't look. Look at what you have. So many tabs open. Look at this. Look at. Here, give us some fresh background music, but the one they were just listening to. Oh no, Slack. What? No way. That doesn't happen. This never happens, ladies and gentlemen. Slack. It's come on. I'll leave you in the tiny box. Slack. You look like you like to remain as anonymous as possible.
Of course, it is very important that my handlers never catch on my true identity.
I will even forego the full screen storytelling for this tale. Oh, so you want it? You want this full? All right, perfect. I was trying to be courteous, but you said so now screw it. You're getting the full screen story treatment. Can you give me a preview if this is going to be a survival, heart, social, or social, or wisdom story?
You gave me the out of telling a lie, so if I tell you that it's social, you'll just decide that it's a lie. But it could be a truthful story that could be based in wisdom. We may not know until the telling is complete. When I was a younger man, and in the military, I worked in intelligence, and after a while, I was assigned to a location at Fort Meade, one of those alphabet agencies, and while working there, this would have been about 2002, 2003-ish, I learned a great number of things about how we worked, and the sort of, we were in that lead up to our invasion of Iraq at that point, and it was very interesting to be on the inside and see how we were generating the information that we were going to use to try to justify our work. Now, I would say that it was very, very much the sort of thing like where you could see the kind of systems on the inside and how it was all bullshit, all of it. Every last bit about what you were told about how the world works was a lie, and everyone just goes along with it. And after that point, how do you accept it and move on? And whether you have to find the wisdom to reject the narrative that you're given by the public, or perhaps maybe this is just a social lie. We may never know.
My goodness. Whoa. Clearly a true story accuses Red Pill. Yeah, I choked on it too. Wow. Well, you guys know how this has turned out to working. We have a story that could very well be a piece of wisdom or a social lie. But either way, he's going to get a die roll, and it's going to be modified, multiplied by your participation if you place an emoji in the Hive Mind chat to multiply the damage to the roll. I think we need some branding I consistently play to give the emojis time to roll in. And in your case and mine, I think this one is the appropriate.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast Magic Missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile. Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
All right, the emojis have been rolling in. We have a brain from Ups, eyes from I Am Magic, and apparently this works on some phones, a face turquoise drinking coffee. And isn't it, that's so weird because the coffee I drink from is from the turquoise. But, and the red, what are you guys just like saying things about me with colons around them, hoping they're emojis? I don't, anyway, we're counting one from Ups, one from Magic, one from Red Pill, and this one from Rascal. And that's a 4 times multiplier to your damage. We'll just, this was clearly a lie. None of that was obviously true. So let's make that a social roll, shall we? Slack.
And the thing that we are hoping for most is that Nate never finds out that I was on here, because he would die of shame knowing that you had gotten me before him.
Oh, I'm sure that you saying that isn't going to prompt anyone to clip it. Clip the fact that Slack was on the Grim Grizz channel live stream for the Monster Party fight on March 25th, 2023. Surely no one would clip that and put it in
It's not how the
face
internet works, Grim.
No, never. Oh, look, it's time for your damage, old Slack. Are you ready? What was our multiplier?
Big money.
Our multiplier, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Whatever, it's 5 now. Hut. Oh, big 4. Big 4.
Yes,
The dice are making this a long stream, and I don't know if it's the rolls of the people that are coming on or that. The dice just want me up here doing some kind of marathon telethon, but thank you, Slack, for coming on and adding to the damage to the Pap Smear monster.
I've done my part.
And all the other achievements that were just unlocked. We appreciate it here at the Grim Grizz streams, and we hope that you're feeling virtually not alone.
As a result of all that, another dynamic that follows is that children who are programmed biologically to connect to somebody, they can't help it. They must attach to somebody. Their brains are telling them to. And consider for a moment how important attachment, which is to say closeness with another human being, is to even adults. And what happens to us as adults when our closest attachment relationships are threatened, and how disoriented and how upset they become. Well, the child is much more that way because he's much more dependent. She's much more vulnerable and helpless. So they can't abide not having attachments. But who will they attach to? Well, who's around? Well, who's around in our culture are the kids. So apart from losing their nurturing relationship with adults because of the pressures and social factors I've already outlined, then kids become connected to other kids. So for the first time in history now, you have immature creatures influencing each other inordinately. The result is immaturity, all kinds of behavioral problems, all kinds of interferences with healthy development, and a whole range of behavioral, learning, and mental health issues. So this is what I mean. The culture is meant to maintain our attachments and to give us a place where we actually belong and where we can be supported. That's the traditional role of culture. Nature can only program us to be attached and to be connected, but nature can't.
Was I like not? That was hot mic the whole time. Y'all didn't hear anything embarrassing, did you? None of that. What?
Provide the culture. That's up to society to do that. Now, what happens in a culture when the rate of change is so rapid we can't even adapt to it? It means that we are disoriented. We lose our bearings. We lose our connections with one another, with our kids. And the result is what I began to delineate in the beginning, all these childhood problems, behavior issues, mental health issues, and a whole range of other problems, which of course manifest on the individual level and of course on a social level. And on top of that, then we have this culture in a narrower sense, that is to say the media, which reinforces those trends. Interestingly enough, if you look at most TV programs aimed at kids, adults aren't even in them. Or if they are, they're only present as laughable, peripheral figures.
Thanks to the Chris Show for the filler. But we're in the middle of a Pap monster fight here, and we have a possible contestant in the house with Hezzy Sparrow. What's going on, my man?
Good evening, Grim. How are you?
Good evening. Are you working already?
I am working already, yes. I'm in the office. My kids are off doing their thing, and I am working.
Well, you've stopped in to tell a story and help us in this monster fight, right?
I was hearing something about that. So it's a story of some wisdom I learned, or what were the options again?
It can be a survival story, a story of the heart, a social story, which can be a lie, or a story that you heard something, but it's got to be a memory from the past, because this is the past authoring monster we're fighting, the Candy Cane Speculum Pap Smear fella.
I have 3 survival stories.
Well, we just need one, but since it's been a long night, I'll let you do 3. I'll let you judge it, but the multipliers are only going to apply to the last one.
No
so
problem.
Save the heavy hitter for the third story.
The third one will be the heavy hitter. You got it. So the first one
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
The first one is 5 years old, and I had just watched a movie or a show, I guess, of paratroopers, and I was convinced that in everyone's backpack there is a parachute. So when I was 5 years old in school, it's Israel in the late 80s, early 90s, so regulations weren't taken so seriously. There was like sort of this broken gate, and there was like a jump off like this wall pretty high down to like the next garden. And I convinced like 3 kids with me that we have parachutes in our bag and they need to jump with me, and it's all going to work out once we jump. These 2 kids, as they got to the ledge, were like, yeah, we were with you with your imagination game up until this ledge, but Now we're going to stop. And I was like, all right, you guys are losers. Like, this is happening. So I jumped off. And thank God nothing happened. Like, I just landed and I was fine. The kindergarten teacher was so upset she smacked me in the face, and like yelled at me for doing that. And then I told my mom. I was crying. She also got upset at me. But that's mini survival story number 1.
We'll call that one the limits of imagination.
The limits of imagination, exactly. I found them out that day.
Number 2.
Number 2 was I am around 14 or 15, and I am in a school trip. We're in these old ruins from the British Mandate. They left like this old officers' building in the Upper Galilee, and it's sort of ripped up right now. There's an old pool over there that people go swimming in. So on our school trip, I was walking through one of the ruins myself, and I was on the 2nd floor. I tripped and fell down and landed directly on my head, and miraculously, like I tripped and fall down the next floor. I was all okay. That for the next year, I then took I didn't make a vow, but I basically lived as a Jewish Nazarite. And I did not cut my hair, and I did not drink any wine. And it was like a very emotional experience to me that I was certain that God saved me. That was number 2. You're stuck over there with the little. Go ahead.
So you were at these ruins of what place again?
It's called the Officers' Pool. It's up north in Israel, and in these ruins. Well, it's this old structure from the British Mandate of these officers, and they built themselves a little pool. It was abandoned after the war, so it's
okay.
So it's just old structure
around. It's not okay. So I was just making sure it wasn't a shrine to something.
No shrine,
holy ground or whatever. But you're dicking around in some old place you shouldn't be.
Well, definitely not on the 2nd floor. Yeah.
And you fall and damn near kill yourself. But since you don't kill yourself, you're like, all right, God has protected me. He must be real. I'm not cutting my hair, y'all.
I'm not cutting my hair. I'm not getting connected. I'm not going to any cemeteries. I'm not drinking any wine. Right. So then my dad told me, this is like a lifetime vow. So before you do that, how about we learn for the next year all the ramifications, and at the end of that year, if you still want to do it, then you could do it. So my dad was obviously a wise man. So we did study together for a year, and at the end I decided that that would be a little nuts.
Lifetime's a long time.
Right,
now
a lifetime's a long
I've
time.
had a year of experience. I know that a lifetime. I think that's a survival and a wisdom story. But we do have the 3rd survival story, the one that's supposed to be the heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter. So the heavy hitter is I'm 16 now, and I am with friends of mine coming in to Jerusalem to go have an interview to be counselors in this camp. And we get off at the central bus station, and we get out, and I go and tell my friends we're going to take this next connecting bus that brings us down near where this office is going to be. So I run over because we're late, and I get on the actual bus, and I feel my friend grab my bag and pull me off the bus. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, nothing. It's not worth the money. And my friend Dovey doesn't have enough money with him. So let's just walk. We're already late. It's just going to be another 10 minutes, and we'll walk over there, and that's it. So I'm like, okay, the bus driver's getting angry at us because I'm like one leg on the bus, one leg off, 1 foot off the bus. I'm like, okay, no problem. I get off the bus, and we start walking. When we get towards like the next stop, we realize that there's a terrorist bomber got on that bus and blew up. And so that was pretty intense that my friend took me off that bus beforehand. But that was, I guess, pretty intense to miss that ordeal by one bus stop. So that was, I would say, the 2nd survival story. 3rd survival story.
The emojis are already rolling in. We got one from Macau and one from Magic. That's going to get the multiplier to your damage bonus on the Pabst monster. But I gotta say, you said you realized that was
My friend realized.
Okay, it sounded like the realization was about to come a block and a half later. How much later was the realization from when they pulled you off the bus?
Probably like no, he pulled me off the bus, then the bus left. So I guess it was maybe next block, probably 2 bus stops following. So we didn't hear the explosion, but as we were walking, we saw like ambulances, people running, and then when we got close, we saw the bus, like like we saw smoke, we saw like the police, the ambulance was already there. So it was pretty nuts.
So in Judaism, is that God's hand directly or guardian angels?
That's a good question. According to Maimonides, Maimonides believes that there isn't, God does not intervene that way unless you are one of the very few that is fully spiritually and emotionally aligned, where then you get to sort of see God's pattern in the matrix, which then allows you to avoid these things. Aside from that, he gives a very eerie example how if someone gets on a boat and there's a storm and like he drowns, like you can't, like, don't come to God with complaints because God didn't send him on that boat. And that's what happened to his brother. His brother was lost at sea and he was very depressed about this as well. But so now you're asking me personally what I think about that.
Well, under that belief structure, then
yeah,
it would suggest to the purity of alignment of the heart of your friend who pulled you off for the sake of money. But let's make a roll. Ladies and gentlemen, a survival roll gets the big red die. And we're looking at 1, 2, thanks, Doc, 3, 4, and 5 Mojo Monitors times 5. And here's your roll, Hezzy. Oh, so close to a nat 20. But instead only a 2. You can see there on the die, ladies and gentlemen.
What are you going to do?
But a 2 times 5 is 10. I think these die are just trying to make me do an 8-hour stream, bro. That's what these rolls are telling me. But you know what? I'm the DM here, and I think you get 3 rolls. So, and they all get times 5. Screw you, Pap Monster. I'm
there you
the
go.
DM here. There's disciples numbers times 5. That's 60 more off the son of a. Let's hope it finishes him off. Let's hope it does. The third roll for the third. Oh, reinforcement of the 2. That does bring him down to 50, though. Thank you so much, Mr. Sparrow.
I tried.
You helped immensely, and I appreciate you. And I hope you and yours are well. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got him down to 50 now. And it's almost over. I might have to do another story myself, but first, some more beautiful song. All right, dice be damned. Here we go. Let's knock out another story. I will contest myself. That's the wisdom story from this episode. Hey, Pap. This one time I did a stream and I learned you should line up your memory storytelling guests beforehand. It's a really big, huge ask of people, and only the people that really like you will participate if you don't. So I learned that piece of wisdom. Take that. There's 18 off of you. The DM is on the rampage. DM us on the rampage. Yes, we've almost smeared Pap. We need one more story, either a survival story, a social story, a wisdom story, or a heart story. It'll get modified by the emoji power of the Hive Mind. Even if the emoji doesn't work in StreamYards, it still counts. It still counts as a multiplier. Here's a blast from the past. Wait a minute. What? Sure. Why did you put this on the internet?
Dr. Peterson, you appeared in one of my ayahuasca visions, and I asked her, who is Jordan Peterson? What is he doing? Which is something I'd really like to know as well. And she responded with crystalline clarity. Quote, he is here to invoke and initiate the divine masculine principle on earth at this time.
Yeah. Did he? Okay, but I did find. I think he's retired to Twitter, but I do reference him quite a bit even these days. And so here's a piece from the Fremen Nut with me and Hyun Chu.
Okay, well, let me ask you a rhetorical question then. Let's say you're dreaming and you see, I don't know, animals in the forest or something, right?
That guy on the right, that's Hyun Chu.
There's no way for your dream state to have that notion of what animals look like in the forest unless you've actually physically had sense data to get that in. Does that make sense? Like colorblind people cannot dream in the colors they can't see.
Okay.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is it the dream state that is the base, or is it the awakened state that is the base? Because the awakened state is where you get the material to cause the dream.
Where I get the okay. What if it's there is no dream, there is no body, and it's just all we'll give ourselves for this thought experiment is our right, left, and corpus. So like, as far as we know, this lump is feeding us all experiences, and the us we consider as us is this lump over here, and what we build, the relationship they build between each other, one is like dreamy and one is concrete. Lump sat alone on a boggy marsh, totally motionless except for heart. Magic came on, grim stream in her pajamas, totally confused all the passing lobster monkeys.
Well, howdy, Rascal.
This lump, and the us we consider as us is this lump over here, and what we build, the relationship they build between each other, one is like dreamy and one is concrete. Like the right lobe is made this concrete awakened state collaboration, but normally it's just and so it's like a translation, like whatever would be experienced in the dream has been translated into stuff that fits the meat space timeline experience.
You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension of not only sound and vision, but that of a hive mind, a journey into a virtual land of both shadow and substance, a place where you can embody breaking the fourth wall, whose boundaries are only limited by one's imagination. Somewhere in between agency and a rabbit hole of saving throws, welcome to the Virtually Not Alone Zone.
Ladies welcome everyone. We're into nighing hour 3 of this monster Party Pap, where in order to face the horrible past authoring program monster, the Candy Cane Speculum beast, I had to go over all of the monster parties that happened last year to bring everyone up to date on what monster parties used to be, before I introduced this new system where, or at least for this particular monster, in order to enter the past, to do damage to the past authoring monster, we need a story from a participant. It can be a survival story, a social story, a wisdom story, or a heart story. And then we get to roll the associated die, damaging the monster, multiplied by the emoji firepower of the Hive Mind chat. And we've taken, and some dumbass who set this thing up for me gave the mother 300 hit points. And over the course of these hours, we have gotten him down to 32 hit points through the stories of Chezi, of magic, of, oh my, we can't even remember all of the Slack came on, bro. We got clips of that to rub in Nate's face. And so many people who love and care about everything that goes on here have come on to help. And still the Pap faces us at 32. But so we need one more story out of anybody. And as disclosed, and which allowed for Slack to tell his story. A social story can be a lie, because that's how it is. Oh, hey, Chad, with the co-pilot powers to put himself on the stream. Hey, Chad.
Howdy, isn't that crazy?
I love it. I love having everybody. Ups has to go. Thanks, Ups. We love thanks for being around, man. Harris is a good cat. Oh, Harris is giving a preview of Ups with the up preview emoji. You got a story for us, Chad, so we can grind this beast into the dust and call this stream done?
Yeah, I was just watching a movie with my wife. We were just watching Death to Smoochie, which is a hilariously crazy film.
Quite revealing. I'd never heard of the Rainbow Mafia until that one.
Great. Yeah, it was pretty good. I didn't know Danny DeVito made that film or directed it, but we went to a comedy show tonight at the Elks Lodge.
I've heard of those people, but I don't know anything about them.
I don't know either, but it was Branch 666. I was like, what the hell?
That's reassuring, isn't it?
And there were a couple comedians, one from Madison, one from Milwaukee, and it was a good show. And that's pretty much all we did today. Made a video earlier and got to talk.
Is this you telling a story?
Yeah, just telling you about my day.
Oh, well, you're supposed to be all full. I didn't know it was a story. All right, turn the last part into a story real quick.
Well, we went to see a comedy show at the Elks Lodge, and it was called 666 Elks Lodge. And there was some hecklers in the crowd that were heckling the comedians. And it was great and unruly.
Well, I think that sounds like a social story to me. And we've gotten the preemptive multiplier emoji from Ups. That one doesn't count. Rascal has given us a mountain.
Oh, today is already the past.
Slack has given us some wisdom.
Mm.
And that does sound social. We've got 2 multiplier emojis, and since it's you, the master of the helm of the wonderful Friday morning name of the show, we'll do your commercial.
Mm.
While we wait for the emojis to roll in one more time.
Hey there, I'm Chad the Alcoholic, and the creator of the Friday Morning Nameless channel. I'd like to welcome you to join us for the latest and greatest and most up-to-date information about all the things happening in this corner of the internet. I want to thank you for your time and your attention.
And we do here on the Virtually Not Alone Network Grimgriz stream stuff. And where we're finally slaying the Pap monster, I think. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 emoji modifiers. So that's times 5. Times 5 to your damage. And we're going to be rolling the social die to do it. The social die to do it. So here we go. Hey! Number 9. That does 45 points of damage. And by my math, that's negative something, pal. And the Pap monster is defeated. Finally. Thanks to the storytelling power of those in the corner. And the willingness to come on the Grimgriz stream. Thank you, Chad.
I'll have to watch back. I only got to drop in a couple times during the movie, but I didn't listen. I just noticed you were running, and I wanted to say hello. So,
well, you know, I used to do those monster parties, and it had been a while. Yeah,
it has been a while, and you've been going for nearly 3 hours. Holy cannoli!
So I'm trying this new format as one that I can syndicate and sell to the foundation to run on Randos United. But it's going to take some practice rounds. Everyone was kind enough to stop by and help. Hezzy came by and gave us 3 stories. Slack made an internet appearance on my channel instead of his brother-in-law's. It's beautiful drama, and it was just nice to be virtually not alone with everybody else who would have otherwise been virtually alone. Thanks for coming in, Chad. We love you.
Thank you.
I'll see you around.
Night.
All right. That's enough for me to start wrapping it up too, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all once again. Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal, most of that which apparently have not made it over to the fancy pants buy me a coffee thing, and that this might be the last show ever. I don't know. I do it because I love you guys. I just might have to mow lawns and stuff. Also. But thank you all for making this possible, and for being here tonight, and keeping me company, and keeping us company, and random thing to close the show with. You've run all these already, man. You're out. You've been going for 3 hours. You've run them all already. It's all just, it's here. Hey. Hyun-Chu.
Do you have anything you want to say in conclusion?
Between the left and right brain, that would make the relationship the most real thing, then, wouldn't it?
In all the darkness, the end of contact when Elle's talking to her father, it's like the only thing that makes, in all our travelings, the only thing we found that makes the darkness bearable is each other. So yeah,